Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to move forward in our Creative Memories 110 Scrapbooking Ideas and Sketchbook. We are moving on to sketch number 4, and I'll show you here what it is. And it's number 4 in the book, but it's on page 9. And this is what it looks like. So I'm not necessarily going to go in order through the whole book one after the other. I am going to probably jump around at some point. But if I feel inspired when I get to the next one, I'll do it. If not, I'll look through the book and see what does inspire me. And the reason I say that is because this sketch, when I first saw it, this was one I thought, oh, I think I'm going to skip this one for now. This is not something that I would normally even be inspired to do. I like this sketch. I think it came out beautiful in their sample, but just having all the little pieces of paper and it kind of looks almost like a quilt. I love quilts, but I'm just not really into doing that on my scrapbook page. So I was going to skip this one, and then I decided that no, I shouldn't skip it. I've been in, scrapbook classes before, and whenever I do something that's really outside of my box, I tend to really like the page later. And maybe I wouldn't want to recreate it again, but I did enjoy it and learn something new. And so I kind of challenged myself and thought, I should give it a shot and see if I like it. The thing is with this kind of sketch is when you put all those take the time to cut all those different papers out and align them, and it's going to have to be lined up all nice and straight. Then you cover it up with photos. It just seems like, why did I go through all that effort? So what I decided to do with this one is make it a title page in the front of one of my albums. So I'm currently working on 2017. So I think I'm going to use this for my title page in 2017. So that way I'll still am going to have this block. Let me show you on this one. I'm still going to have this block right here. It's just going to be a block with our name and the year of the album. So I think that's going to be a much better use of this page in my book. And so I'm not going to create a double page layout on this one like I have done on the last 3. Okay. If I was going to do a double page layout, I probably would do a mirror image on the other side, because this one is really hard to kind of bring in everything else without having just a mirrored image. Okay. Another reason this sketch doesn't really appeal to me is because I like to put more photos on my sketch. 2 is okay in some cases, but usually I really try to get 3 or 4. And once you do that on this page, you really won't see any of that background design. So, okay. So let's move forward in this sketch. It's on, again, page number 9, and I'll show you what I'm going to do here. And I will pop the sketch up in the corner so you can follow along. Working with the Welcome Home paper pack. Now, I have used the designer paper pack and the tone on tone paper pack, and I've pretty much used up my designer paper pack. I'm going to show you tonight what I have left, and it's just a few little scraps, but I think I'm going to be able to incorporate some of that into tonight's page as well. Okay, but some of the papers will be coming from this tone on tone paper pack because I just love these colors. I first need a background piece. Let me pull the sketch back out one more time, and let's dissect the sketch. Okay, so what I have here is we need a background page, and then it also has a mat around the background page. Okay, then in the center, it has strips of paper, different papers going down. And if you look at their sample, you can see pretty clearly it's about 10 different patterns of paper. Okay, and then some big triangles in the corners. Okay, so we're first going to work on the background page, which is this thin white one going around. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is take our background piece and trim off a 1/2 inch. We need to get this to an 11.5 inch square. Okay, so let's bring out our arm and we'll line it up at 11.5 inches. Now this is one of my only full-size sheets of paper I have left from the designer paper pack, but it did come from there, and it has like brown little specks all over it. Okay, and turn it, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, I'm gonna keep those. Let's see. Not on this layout, but maybe a future one. Okay, so then the next thing that we need to do is we need to find the center point on this page. So I'm gonna take my T-square, and now it's gonna be, let me make sure I could keep this in frame here. And I need to pull it down so I can see it. So I'm at 11.5 inches. So I need to mark it at 5 3/4. So what we'll do is we'll take a pencil, find the 5 3/4 mark, and then mark it up here at the top. And then we need to do that down at the bottom as well. Okay. And then we take our ruler and just draw a line straight down the middle. Okay, this line will get covered up. And the part that doesn't, we'll just erase. Okay, so let's see, I hope you can see that on the screen. Now for all of our cuts that we're gonna make to make the diamond pattern in the middle, they're each gonna be 1 inch wide. Okay, so that's pretty easy. And here are the scrap papers I have from the designer paper pack. And it's kind of funny that I had a few 1 inch pieces. So I am gonna try to incorporate these into my layout tonight. I'm not sure about this one because the back side is the blue, and I'm not sure cutting this one, it kind of looks like an iron gate. I might. Okay, so what we need to do, I have it all written out here for you, is we need to start cutting our 1 inch strips. And we need 2 of them at 11 inches, 2 at 9, 2 at 7, 5, and 3. So I am gonna use these 2, my 2 at 11 inches. So they're 1 by 11. Okay, so I'm just going to take off 1 inch. Let me stack them really nice and straight here. Okay, and then take off 1 inch. Okay, never know, we might hold on to these and move them forward into another sketch. Okay, so that's our 11 inch one, our 11 inch by 1 inch. Okay, then we need to get 2 that are 9 by 1 inch. So the papers I've picked out to use for this are these very homey looking papers. And don't forget, they're double-sided, so we will incorporate those as well. So let's start with these 2. So first thing is I need to take 1 inch. Let's move this out of the way. I'm going to cut them together. Save a little bit of time here. So this is going to be the 9 inch piece. Put that aside. And then, so I'm going to, let's pull out the arm again and line it up to the 9 inch. Make sure that we have a 9 inch piece. And then that's going to be our 2 at 9 inch. Put those aside for a moment. And we're going to move on to these 2 papers. Looks like I cut into the blue one already, so I'll line those up. Let me put it on top so we don't make a mistake here. Okay, line that up to the 1 inch. And then we're going to cut these at 7 inches. And then we have our 2 at 7 inches. And then what I'm going to do is turn these over, and these will be my 2 at 5 inches. Right? 7 from 12 is 5. Yep. So those will be our 2 at 5 inches. And if you didn't want to do that and you wanted to cut more paper, then you do whatever is going to fit in your scrapbook page. Okay. And then I'm going to pull these ones back in because this was cut from the 9-inch. So that gives a 3. And we're going to turn those over. And then that's our 3-inch cuts. Okay. So we made 11, 9, 7, 5, and 3, all 1 inch wide, 2 of each of those. Okay, now more cutting. This one has a lot of cutting, but we got this. It looks daunting at first, but it's actually not so bad once we get going. Okay, so we're going to start with our 11 by 1 inch, and now we're going to put the diagonal cut in them. So we're going to stack them together, and this awesome Creative Memories trimmer has the 45-degree angle right there included. Let me make sure I have a good shot of this. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to line it up across the 45-degree angle, and we're going to move this corner up to, if it's easier, you can do one at a time. In fact, I think I will. You move that tip of that corner to your dotted line on your cutting mat. Okay. And it's going to be on the 45-degree angle and up to that corner. You hold it in place, and you trim off that triangle. Okay, now here's the important part. To cut the other side, you need to flip it over, do the same thing. Okay, line it up to the 45 degrees, and then that tip of the corner is meeting up with the dotted line on your mat, your trimmer mat. Okay, there we go. And we're going to do the same thing for this one. So let's watch again. We're going to line it up against the 45, move that corner right to the dotted line on your mat, and cut. And remember the important part, when you're going to cut the other side, you flip it over, line it up again, and trim. Okay, now we have 2. Then what we're going to do is put them on our background page. Okay, see how it's going to cover that line right up? And there's the first part of our triangle. Okay, I'm going to put you on fast motion and go ahead and get all the rest of these cut. Okay, so you'll see I put 2 of these aside, which I'll show you in one moment what we're going to do with that. Okay, so we're done cutting for just a moment. So let's pull our page back in here and see if we cut them correctly. Okay, so the next, we had our 11-inch. Now the 9-inch comes next. I'm actually going to stagger these a little bit and put the green on this side so that the 2 blues are not together, and then it looks okay next to the flowers. And then on this side we'll put a green, and then on the other side we'll put a blue. Okay, and then the green will go over here, and the blue will go right here. Can I turn this one around? I like that side better to be longer. So I'm going to flip those around. And then our 3-inch ones. So we could, I think what I'll do is put the darker one next to that blue and the lighter green next to that. Let's see. Yeah. And so let's see what we like, if we like it the other way around. Blue and green. I think I'm going to flip them. Okay, actually, this pattern is the same as that one, so I want to flip it around. And I have not used this one yet? There we go. Okay, and the reason why we save these little triangles is it's how you're going to cap off the end of the diamond over here. So what you're going to do is tuck it underneath and pull it out ever so slightly until it makes the end of the diamond, and then that's where it'll sit. And then same thing over here, just tuck it in until it meets the corner. Now you will have a little bit of a seam there, but that's okay, it won't show up. Okay, and there you go. I'll line all this up much straighter as I adhere it, but pretty simple once you see all the cuts and how it's laid out, right? Okay, so here again are your cuts. And now what we need to do is cut out the 4 triangles for the corners. And what they have is like a blue, a green, a blue, and a green, or they reversed them somehow. So that's what I'm gonna do as well. I'm gonna use this green and this blue. I love that pattern. They're the same pattern, they're just different colors. Okay, so this is gonna be a 5.5 inch square. I'm gonna put this gently on top here, pull this out. And we need a 5.5 inch square. So the 5.5 inch is right there at the edge of the trimmer. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay, so we have 5.5 inch square. And then what we want to do is cut it diagonally. So this one, we just need to line up this corner on that dotted line and this corner. And if you weren't sure, you could bring in the guides and see before you're cutting. And that one looks good, right? I think I moved it a tad. Okay, ready? Push down a little bit harder because I had 2 pieces in there. And there we go. Let's lift this up, see what kind of mess we have. Okay. Put our diamond back together here. Let's move this out of the way. Let's bring in our next cuts, which we just said was 2. And let's see how we want to place these. I could use the other side if I want. I think I have a lot of blue over here, so I'll probably go with the green. And then the blue here might need to be adjusted a tad. And then opposite corners. So the blue will go here and then the green will go there. And there you go. So I'm gonna get this all adhered down. I won't make you watch that because that's gonna be a lot of strips. And I'm gonna take my time and line them all up nice and neat. And I'll come back and I will get some photo mats. On the sketch said, okay, if you wanted to make 2 photo mats, they're 5.25 by 4 inches. Okay, so if you're following along with the sketch and you want to make it exactly, that's what you would need. But I'm going to put a block in the middle with our family name on it. Okay, so let me go ahead and adhere this and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I have everything adhered down. This is what it looks like. It does make a very beautiful page, right? And this was the Welcome Home collection, but I think it would be beautiful with any collection. And we used a lot of pattern paper. We did get our 10 in here. You'll see that these do repeat in our diamond shape. So we wouldn't have to get extra paper for those. I mean, you could if you wanted to. This is a great one to use up some scraps. You saw I had some scraps laying around. That just was perfect. And so a couple more things we want to do to this page before we would add our photos or my block, and that is to erase what is showing of the pencil mark. There's just a little bit showing up here. And then down here, there's a little bit too. And then that's it. I don't think I'm getting it good over here. There we go. Okay. And then we want to bring in our mat. Remember, this had a mat. This whole thing goes on top of a mat. And I'm going to, this is a piece of navy cardstock. I love this paper, so I'm going to gut that out in the middle, but that's what it's gonna look like. And I'm gonna show you how I gut this out. First of all, I wanna make sure it's a 12 by 12 because it did look a little off center on here. There seems to be more space over there. I mean, I can always move it, so, okay. Okay, let's just make sure. And it is, okay. So what I wanna do is I wanna take out about a 10 by 10 inch square. So I'm gonna take out about an inch, cut it at about an inch. And so I'm gonna line that up to the inch mark. And then right there is where the inch is coming down from the bottom. And then down here is where the 11 inch is coming up from the top. So since I'm here already, I will start at the 11 inch and go up and stop at the 1 inch mark, which is right there. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, this one I'll start going down since I already had that one. And go to 11. Just turn it around. The reason I want to gut this also is if you were going to use this for, you can use it for your photo mats as well. That way they would match if you're going to put photos on here instead of just a title page. Okay, one more cut. You saw there I didn't cut it all the way, so I just snipped it with some scissors. Okay. Again, it's not cut all the way. Now all this is going to be hidden, so okay, and there's our frame. And we're just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back of this. Yeah, it needs a fair amount. It does have to stick on there. So whether you use repositional or regular is okay. If you are afraid you're not going to get it down straight, then I would definitely use the repositional. Okay. Line up my square. I want, let's see, I definitely want this flower just like that. So that's kind of like my guiding point on this whole thing is I want that up at the top. Okay, so I'm gonna just eyeball it here, center it, and then that's it, push it down. Okay, there you go. That's what the back looks like. So now we saved a 10-inch square of our paper because we could use that for our mats. I'm not going to make mats, you know that, but I want to show you what this would look like if we did add some photo mats on here. So we can have one horizontal photo and one vertical going this way with your journaling here. And then they used a border sticker here and an embellishment cluster here, here, and here. Okay, you could do 2 vertical photos. And of course, if they were horizontal, it's a diamond shape. So you would just turn it basically or have it like that. Okay, I do love this layout, the way they had it, because I think it really shows off your papers. Okay, once you start building up your clusters here with your journaling and your title, then you're going to end up covering up a lot of these. Okay, I would center them maybe a little bit better. So we have just the same amount. You'll see our little corners there pop out. Okay, maybe put a space between them, however you like. Okay, so I'm going to get my embellishing stuff and we're going to get this embellished. Okay, let me make sure you can see those measurements. Okay, so what I have for embellishments is I made this block to go like that. And I tried to keep it about the same size as those photos, but it turned out to be a little bit smaller, which is okay because I could see more of the pattern paper. Then I'm probably going to layer it up like this. And yeah, let me go ahead and cut that actually. Then I think I'll be all done cutting. Let's eyeball that. And I think what I'll do is put it up on a little bit of fun foam just to pop it up a little bit. Okay, so it will look something like this. And that one kind of blends in right over there a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, put it like that. And then what I do want to do is I do want to use my corner rounder. I don't know, I've been thinking about this punch a lot lately. So I'm going to use it through the top to give it like a ticket notch. Okay, and I'll do the same thing to the light blue mat underneath as well. Give it just a little bit more character, right? Oh, it slipped right under there. Okay. If you don't know the trick to this, you stick it in and there's like a little screw right there. There's that little screw right there, and then you just take your paper and slide it in until that corner is in the middle of that square, and then that gives you the perfect punch. Just in case you didn't know that. Okay, one more. And let's see if we like that. Like I said, I'll probably either pop up both or just one on a little bit of foam, not a lot. Okay, so it'll go like that, maybe up a little more. And then I was looking at, I have the stickers for this Welcome Home collection left, and the embellishments. I'll just put those right there for a minute. I was kind of eyeballing this brown one, and I'm not really sure why, but because I don't have a lot of brown. So it would go something like that. Now in the book, they only have it running from the edge of the photos to the other end. So that's probably what I would do too. So let's take off. We'll decide if we want to use one or two of these. So if I'm going to position that right about there, I can lay this down. I won't need journaling on this, of course, because that is my journaling. So I think I'm going to have it run to like about there. So let me snip that. Okay. And this will be my guide. So I'll put that right there. Okay, and then this will go here. So kind of giving it a little shelf. Then I think what I want to do is kind of embellish that corner up there. And I was looking at the sticker sheet. I kind of liked this one. It says Living Our Best Life, and I thought that's perfect for this album. But I'm not really liking how it looks together with everything else. I also like this one down here that says Love Makes a House a Home. And I do like that one a lot better. I'm going to pop that one up on foam as well. Okay, so I could probably lay that. So it'll go like, I kind of want it straight. I just want the 2017. Then I liked this to be popping out. I think something like that. And then I went through these. I didn't really see a whole lot. These are the bigger ones, and I kind of want to stay away from some of the big things because the whole point was to not cover up the pretty paper that we just took some time to do. So I don't really see anything in here that I like. Let's see. There's so many great stickers here, but I'm not sure if I could. I like this one. Where'd it go? Embrace the Chaos. Wonder if that would be better then. Oh, that's funny. I kind of want to see what these little things look like. It's like a little hexagon, like almost like a screw, I guess. And put it kind of like a little hook on each side, or like a little button or rivet or something. Yeah, that's kind of cute. Okay, so I think what I need to do is maybe find some flowers to put right there. I would also like to maybe bring in a little butterfly at the top up here. Something like that. Here's maybe a flower for the bottom. Maybe I could still scooch it up a little bit. Maybe put that to the side. Just looking through my stash here to see if anything this had a brad on it. Okay, so I don't want to do too much on this. I like it. I want to really highlight the background. Just trying to decide. This one looks a little too big. That one's a little smaller, so we'll go with that. And I will pop this up on some foam. And then this looks like it had a little brad or something at one time, so I'll probably use one of these enamel dots and cover that hole right up. Put it right there in the center of that. And then I will put some leaves. We had some leaves here. Let's see. I wonder what this would look like coming out. Let's do it the other way. Covering up a little bit of that brown. No, maybe not. How about these? Here's my all-purpose tool. We can have it coming out the sides. Nope, I think that gets lost too. Okay, let's see here. How about just some leaves? Leaves are probably going to be it, right? Because they match with this collection. We can do one like that. Here's a small one. I wonder if I can cover that up. Let's put the small one. Maybe something like that. There is a medium one here. Really want to see if I can cover that up. Let me hold it. Yeah. Okay, and then I think I'll put a couple more enamel dots right there, or down here probably. And that's going to be it. Okay, so I'm going to get this all adhered down. I will put some close-ups of the finished page at the end. Again, here's the cutting guide one more time in case you need that. And there we go. Let me push it all the way up. Okay, can we see everything? Okay, there we go. There's our page. It's going to be a title page, and I think I actually love it, and I'm really glad that I didn't skip this one. And this is just another way that we can use some of these designs that, you know, maybe aren't speaking to us for photos to put our photos on so we can use them in other ways. So keep that in mind, and sorry that there's not a page 2 to go with this, but again, I would just mirror it if I was going to use that. Okay, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to put them in the comments, and like always, I will link the paper pack selection that I used in the description below. And so that wraps it up, and I thank you for watching and have a good day. See you soon. Bye-bye.